I always had a love for the uniform. I was one to say that if I was going to wear a uniform, I had to earn the right to wear that uniform.
Well, tonight that former New Mexico State police officer is working to earn that honor once again. Prosecutors charged Isaiah Jeremiah with rape last year, and his law enforcement certification was then suspended.
But the state dismissed the rape charge earlier this month, and now he's on the road to recertification. Our Julie Frendak sat down with the officer today as he works to put the past behind him.
Isaiah Jeremiah always planned on a career in uniform.
Well, initially I wanted to join the military. I always had a love for the uniform.
He started as an officer where he grew up, on the Laguna Pueblo. He eventually joined the National Guard.
My late grandfather, Terry Jeremiah, was in the Army, so continuing that legacy was quite an honor.
One of his first assignments as a guardsman was in Las Vegas in 2022, helping with recovery efforts during the Calf Canyon Hermit's Peak fire. Almost a year later, in May of last year, one of his fellow soldiers came forward with allegations of sexual assault during that deployment. She claimed Jeremiah sexually assaulted her while she was asleep. He was a state police officer at the time of the allegations, facing charges filed by his own agency. How did that feel for you to see your name in a headline?
Of course, devastating. I mean, nobody wants to go through that. I did lose a lot of friends, a lot of family.
New Mexico State Police and the military discharged him and suspended his law enforcement certification.
Just put in that guilty verdict already and judging a book by its cover instead of sitting down and actually talking and, asking what really happened.
So you felt like you got a guilty stamp right away?
Yes.
Criminal defense attorney Lizzie Bunker took his case.
He said that this was a girl that he was kind of hanging out with. There may have been some flirting, but he denied any kind of sexual anything inappropriate.
Bunker planned to take the case to trial next week, but says things recently changed during one of the state's pretrial interviews with an expert.
And her conclusion was that the woman was not credible, and this woman had a history of making things up for attention. And so that was concerning, and so the state decided to dismiss it after their own expert told them that we don't believe this woman.
I'm feeling relieved and happy. I just want to move forward from this point on, put everything behind me and just look forward to the future and move on from all of this.
Jeremiah says he hopes to be recertified and back on the job within a year.
Creating an agency that's willing to pick me up and really, understand we're all human beings. We all, go through trials of life, and I just want to get back into it.
Julie Frendak, KOB4.
And we reached out to the district attorney's office in Las Vegas for a comment on this case, but we still haven't heard back yet.